Fire in the booth. Here we are. We're back once again, like the Renegade Master. This is episode 4. This is the 4th day I've done this in a row, and I want to talk about masculine presence because we alluded to it. I talked about it yesterday when we were talking about king energy and king and its ability, the inner king, the inner knowing creates order, not the person, but the presence. And this leads so nicely into what masculinity is. And it's so... It's going to happen. There's going to be distractions outside the fire in the booth. Masculine presence. Masculinity is the presence. It is the presence. It is the calm knowing. It is not in the aggression. It is not in the fight. It is not in the puffing up and the posturing. Some people think that's what it is, and we're being taught by toxic influences, especially online, that that is what masculinity is. It couldn't be further from the truth. Walking away, knowing, not because of weakness, not because of cowardice, but because of real strength, not wanting to get involved, protecting your peace over anything else, your peace and your purpose. I haven't got time for this. And walk away. That's huge. That's what masculinity is. It's rooted, and it only comes about by doing the work, the inner work, the emotional control, the emotional work, where emotions that are out of control, emotions that are wild, that's not masculinity. Aggression, shame that mutates into aggression, posturing, numbing, pushing down emotions, that's not masculinity. Masculinity is feeling it, but doing the inner work so that it can be felt fully, and we can soften into it, and we can breathe, and we can stay still, and we can stay present. That's what above anything else that I know of, that is what it's what I like to think and feel and be in my manhood, as how I relate to masculinity, in the sense that I can be still, I can be stoic, I can be purposeful, I can be disciplined, I can get up early in the morning, I can go to work, I can keep my phone off, I can read, I can write, I can research, I can do my thing. And at the same time feel it all. I can feel the huge impulse not to do it. It's not as if there's every cell in my fibre wants to do it. That's a weakness. Succumbing to that impulse, to that I don't want to do this today. It's not working. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not good enough. This isn't working. That's a fixed mindset. That is a fixed mindset. And I grew up with that because that was the voice, that is the voice of the inner critic, which is the internalized voice of my father. I'm not good enough. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't do this. And over the past year, whenever I hear those words, I put a yet at the end, little 3-letter magical spell that turns those fixed mindset statements into a growth mindset statement. I'm not good enough yet. Fine, I'm going to keep going and find out how far I can take this. I'm going to find out how much it takes to feel good. I don't know what I'm doing yet. Fine, I'm winging it. I'm moving forward. I have a goal, and it is so in alignment with my purpose. There is no plan B. So I'm going to continue to get up in that mindset, that sometimes that self-talk. I don't know what I'm doing. That's okay. There is no rule, there is no manual for success. There is no manual for entrepreneurial achievement. There is no manual for how to get from A to B in terms of your goals and your ambitions and your dreams. There's plenty of people that like to sell that dream and sell that method, and some are probably pretty good, but I think ultimately the best thing we can do is stay consistent and keep going and learn from our mistakes. Take aim, Pick the best target you can currently conceptualize and stumble towards it. Notice your errors and misconceptions along the way. Face them and correct them. Get your story straight, past, present, and future. They all matter. You need to map your path. You need to know where you have been so that you do not keep making the same mistakes as you did. You need to know where you are now so you can draw a line from your starting point to your destination. And you need to know where you are going so that, or else you will drown in uncertainty, unpredictability, and chaos. And you will starve for hope and inspiration. Those are Jordan Peterson's words, and they are incredibly powerful, incredibly powerful. What does it teach me? It teaches me to keep going, to keep going, to keep getting out of bed in the morning, keep moving towards my goal. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I've stumbled so many times. I've quit so many times, and I pick myself up. And I can do that because I have an awareness of what this thing is. So I don't know what's going on. This is a divine mystery. This is a completely cosmic divine mystery. What is this? I mean, it's like, wow, like, look at this. This is crazy. And yet I've been with this body for a good few decades now, looking at it. Probably for a couple of decades I've been like looking in, listening, thinking about my thinking about the words that pass through my consciousness. I didn't choose those words. Those words are stories from my parents, stories from my family, stories from my upbringing, from school, from society, from TV, from social media, from film. Those stories have all come in, swirled around. Some of them conflict with each other. Some of them are in alignment. We think our thoughts are ours, so we don't really think about our thinking. We don't stop and take a moment and be like, what am I thinking? Every thought felt as true or allowed to be accepted as true by your conscious mind take roots in your subconscious and blossoms sooner or later into an act and bears its own fruit. Good thoughts bring forth good fruit, and bullshit thoughts rot your meat. Think right and you can fly. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Free your mind and your ass will follow. That's George Clinton circa 1974. It's a fucking great song. Good Thoughts, Bad Thoughts. It's on the album, I don't know. Good Thoughts, Bad Thoughts by Parliament. Funkadelic. It's Funkadelic. Anyway. Presence. What helps me be present? A little bit of meditation, a little bit of movement, getting into my body, knowing who I am. Self-worth, self-respect, self-belief. These are things that do not come naturally. They have not been ingrained in me through my childhood years, through the years where this thing in here was a sponge. So now I've got to intentionally work at it every day. What a blessing that is. What a joy. What a challenge that is to wake up every day and to choose self-respect, to choose self-worth over any other story. I am an energetic field, and the biggest energetic field, the biggest electromagnetic field in the body is the heart. It's to tune into the heart and to know who I am. That gives me purpose. That allows me to walk through this world with stillness, saying very little. I don't engage in trivial argument, discussion. I don't get involved in political chat, religious chat, global chat. I don't watch a lot of news. I catch a little bit of news on BBC Radio 6 because I love BBC Radio 6 because that's like the musicians, the music lovers' music station. So I do catch a little bit, but not enough to engage in conversation. It doesn't serve me. It doesn't serve me. What serves me is staying present and protecting this force field of incredible presence, because around me, around that presence, automatically without me doing anything, order. Presence creates order. Not me. I don't create order. The presence, the masculine presence creates order. And if we look around in the world and we think there's chaos in the world and there are men in charge of the world, then we can deduce, infer, and we can come to the conclusion that these are not masculine presence. These are not men with a clean, clear, masculine, divine, sacred energy that they're holding. They're not. They're simply not. They are balls of chaos. They are in their shadow king. They are in their shadow king. They're not in their sacred king. This is profoundly important stuff. This is what all men need to be working at. We need to take control of our presence, not in a numbing way, not in a pushing down of emotions, in an emotional control way, which means feeling it all, feeling the shame, feeling the grief, the guilt. And that is not easy. If you think that's easy, if you think that's just like a decision, that takes work. That takes inner work. Best way to do, there's so many ways to do inner work. That's for another video. Let's keep this on track. Shame. In the last, 5 years, we've heard so much about narcissism and narcissistic behavior, mostly coming from men, sure, women as well, but I've come across a lot of conversations, especially with women, and they talk about partnerships and their ex-partners, that they were with a narcissist. And a narcissist shuts down their ability to feel shame. So they become aggressive, and then they shut down, and it's projected outwards. The condition, the conclusion, the connection, that's the word I was looking for, connection. The connection between shame, toxic shame, and narcissism is very, very close. Healthy shame, great. Healthy shame's amazing. Like to feel it when I've hurt someone else, when my behavior has hurt someone else, I can feel remorse. It's excruciatingly vulnerable. But it moves into toxic shame. What I do with that shame is important. When I move it into toxic shame, I shut down. I can dehumanize and become aggressive. And that's problematic because now I'm shut down from my emotions. I have no emotional control. I'm losing myself in anger. That is a massive problem. And yet I have compassion. I have a lot of compassion and love. No one's been taught this. Do you remember that class at school? Emotional Control 101. Do you remember that? No, of course you don't. I don't either. So it's easy to dehumanize. It's easy to pathologize a lot of men. And it happens a lot. They weren't taught it. And they don't know how to feel it. And because they don't know how to feel it, they're taking the easy route, which is pushing it down and becoming aggressive. And it's been internalized from childhood. We've talked a lot about this. You know about this because I've talked about this. Masculine presence is calm, it's centered. It's not loud. It doesn't need to fight. It doesn't need to prove itself. It doesn't need to seek validation. It doesn't need to demand respect from others. Because masculine presence knows respect. It knows it, it feels it, it has it already. I know who I am. I know deeply who I am. Sure, there's certainly days when I have a little bit of a wobble, where I can feel I'm getting so closer to recognizing when I'm like a bit dysregulated, haven't been looking after myself much. I need to take a walk or have a nap or switch off like screen time for a good chunk of time and be and sit and relax and be. I'm noticing the distance between the dysregulation and the coming back into regulation is getting shorter and shorter. I notice it. And here's a great story. Yesterday, I noticed like I hit a wall, started to get a bit dysregulated. And I noticed that because the story changes in my head. So you're not doing enough. You're not doing enough, Nicholas. You're not doing enough. You need to work harder. You need to work harder. Boom, 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 boom. And I know that's not true. But yet here we go again. It comes in. Those words, those stories, they have an impact on the body. The body's job, the cellular memory of the body is to take stock of what's going on in the mind and then feel the way I'm thinking. That's the body's job. I don't know anyone that's saying that, right? So the body's like listening, it's literally listening. What's going on up there? And then it will change the state of the body and feel the way I'm thinking. That's wild. So I start to feel a little bit tight. I'm getting a little bit distracted, a little bit impulsive. I know I need to take a rest. I need to step back. And the story is, you're not doing enough. You're not doing enough for your business. You're not doing enough to get new clients. You're not doing enough to earn more money. And I'm like, wait a second. I've got, in the past 48 hours, I'm talking to 3 people that want to work with me. It's happening. I didn't chase them. I didn't find them. They came to me through referrals. So I'm all of a sudden now noticing that this is wrong. This is like fundamentally incorrect in real time. And I'm like, no, it's not true. It's not true. Like I am doing everything that I need to do. And what I need to do right now is pause and step back. Because when I'm getting a little bit stressed, a little bit tight, a little bit in obligation mode, should work harder, pressure, the desire is to hunker down and work more, but it's ineffective because I'm impulsive, I'm more distracted, and actually my productivity is dropping right down. And to take a pause, step back. I actually had a nap yesterday afternoon. How outrageous is that? But I felt so much better after it. So much better. And today I feel great. And here we are talking about presence. So much of the inner work is noticing. I'd say the first step of inner work is noticing the trigger, the pattern, the dysregulation, the tension, noticing how that changes. And if you can bring the timescale closer and closer to that trigger, there's always a trigger. I was watching some videos. I was watching a marketing video, and I compared myself, and that was the trigger. I noticed it. It's happened yesterday around lunchtime. So, let me check the time. We're doing good. We've got a few more minutes. And sorry, okay, getting a bit distracted. There's people outside, it's really annoying. Get back into my flow. Masculine presence is calm, it feels wonderful, feels solid. I'm looking after my body, I'm looking after my mind, I'm looking after my heart. I'm staying connected, I'm staying purposeful, I'm staying disciplined. And within that, spontaneous and creative and fun and playful and loose and not rigid. Because discipline, purpose, passion, fire can all exist in a box of fun. So let's package that box of fun up, put healthy presence, masculinity in it. Let's tighten the lid. Let's put that in our back pockets. Let's call it a day. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.